Right guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we've got a treat. We've got Harry has brought his war convocation along and he's taken on the Eldar. So the Eldar are assaulting this Mechanicus outpost. The Dominus has seen Craft World Altanzar approach and he's readied the entire war convocation along the battle lines to meet the Elvish scum. Today's mission is filmed at Durham Raiders. Please check them out on Facebook. Lots of different games ongoing, heresy, bolt action, you name it. It goes on down here. I'll post a link in the description. The mission today is going to be cleanse and control. We draw 3 objectives at the start of each turn. We've got objective 2, we've got objective 1, and we've got number 3 in the centre of the ruins. Number 6, number 5, and number 4 outside that building. So let's have a quick look at the forces. Right, so let's have a quick look at Harry's war convocation. We've got a Knight Paladin on this flank with full guide priests. It's a unit of what, 12 is it? 15? 15. There's a meat shield to these destroyers. It's 5 destroyers with grav, so they're going to annihilate any unit that they see. We've got 2 onagers with neutron lasers, both heavy stubbers, and of course it will not die. We've got a unit of 5 rangers with 2 plasma in there, and the omnispecs, and of course all the sergeants have the upgrades to give them invuns. Down here we've got the rust stalkers, and they've got the omniscient mask. In the centre, holding down the battle lines, we've got the Knight Crusader with a thermal cannon and a Gatling gun, and we've got a Knight Errant on this flank with the infiltrators moving up the centre. The infiltrators there have the phase taser on them. Across this way we've got a unit of 3 breachers with torsion cannons. We've got a unit of 5 Vanguard with 2 plasma in there. We've got an Iron Strider with the las cannon, and finally on this flank we've got the Dominus with the Castellans and the Datasmith. The Castellans having power fists, 1 flamer and 1 heavy phosphor. Moving on to the Eldar, what we've got is a Wind Rider host with an aspect host and a wraith construct. So we've got 3 bikers with Sheraton cannons, 3 bikers with Sheraton cannons, and we've got the Farseer with a Warlock Conclave, the Vipers with dual Sheraton cannons and holofields, and 3 more bikers there. That is the Wind Rider host. The aspect host is made up of 5 Dark Reapers with the Exarch, and of course the Starshot missiles. We've got 5 Warp Spiders there with of course the Exarch, and the Exarch has a Spinneret rifle. And in this Wave Serpent that's scouted forward thanks to a Warlord troop, we've got 6 Fire Dragons with the Exarch in there as well. We've then got a Avatar, and of course Wraith construct of the Wraith Knight, Binky leading the charge forward with 2 Sheraton cannons. We've also got a Wraith Lord in there as well. We've got a combined arms detachment attached as well with a Farseer, Morgan Ra, and a unit of 5 Rangers. In reserve we've got a unit of 6 Wooden Hawks with an Exarch and Sun Rifle, and a Crimson Hunter Exarch. We've got a unit of 11 Guardians with a Warlock, and in the centre 5 D-Scythe Wraithguard in a Wave Serpent as well. So as it stands, Eldar currently have turn 1 unless Harry wishes to seize. Does he seize? Unfortunately not, so Eldar turn 1. Right, so Eldar turn 1, we've drew secure objective 5, which is on my side. We drew Harness the Warp and Skyborne Assault, kill something with a skimmer or bike. Right, so movement phase, the Fire Dragons have leapt into action. They're going to look to hopefully battle focus onto the side armour of that Knight, whilst the Bright Lancers hopefully pour in from the front. The bikers here are hopefully going to start to whittle down the breaches on this side. Might go for the Castellans, see how the rest of the shooting phase goes. We lost 1 of the Warp Spiders by rolling a double 1 unfortunately. Meanwhile the bikers have leapt into action, looking to hopefully start and whittle down. And of course the Wraithguard have leapt out of their Wave Serpent, looking to take down the Infiltrators. The Infiltrators of course will be minusing the ballistic skill of fire dragons unless I get rid of them first. In the centre, the Wraith Lord is pulled sideways to score me objective 5, and the Guardians are just pushing forward. Hopefully we can get a nice shot in with our Bright Lance, something over there. Meanwhile, the Vipers and Binky and the other bikers are hopefully going to start whittling down the destroyers at this side. That much grav, that's what, 6 shots apiece, 30 shots between 5 of them. And if he uses Mechanicus to re-roll a hit, that's going to be brutal stuff. So we're going to have the Dark Reapers join them, as well as the Rangers pour into them as well. So that's it for movement. Let's move on to the Psychic phase. Right, so in the Psychic phase we managed to get off Guide on the Dark Reapers from this Farseer, and we got Fortune off on the Wraith Knight. The other Farseer managed to get Guide off on the Vipers here as well, so that is going to score us 3 powers for the Psychic phase. In the shooting phase, these guys unloaded all the shurikens, and we managed to bring the destroyers down to only a single model. Harry passing his morale check though. The Dark Reapers took aim at the front armour of the Knight Paladin, but the missiles just bouncing off that front armour 13. Down in the centre here, the Bikers and the Wraith Lord took aim through at the Rust Stalkers, and unfortunately only killed one. They are fearless though, due to the Princeps having the Omniscient mask. The Wave Serpent shot the Shuriken Cannon and the Bright Lance through the ruins at the Onager and inflicting a single glancing hit on it. Meanwhile, the Wraith Guard that jumped out obliterated the infiltrators that were here. Harry did pass a number of his invuns with the Princeps, but unfortunately not quite enough, and that scored me first blood. The Bikers on this flank here managed to get only 3 wounds in on the breaches, and unfortunately Harry rolled 2 failed saves. Unfortunately, yeah, really terribly, and unfortunately one of them was cut down. Luckily though, passing the morale check and not going anywhere yet. And good job as well, because the Fire Dragons battle focused, and the 2 alone that got in the side arc, Harry nominated the shields in the front arc before battle focused, managed to get 2 pens on the Knight, and 2 explodes results for an extra 5 hull points, bringing him crashing down. The explosion scattering backwards off the battlefield though. In the assault phase, Binky made an 8-inch charge into the Rust Stalkers, cut 3 of them down. However, the Princeps managed to get a single wound through. Fortune not paying off, but Binky passing his feel no pain, and then he stomped on them and consolidated 6 inches in the face of the Crusader. So hopefully Harry will take the bait and go for Binky now. Right, so I score objective 5 and first blood. Harness the Warp, I managed to get 3 powers off, so I do score D3 for that, for 3 points. Skyborne Assault, I didn't kill anything with the Bikers, so I'm going to keep hold of that one. Right, so Harry's got the limited edition cards, and he's drew Destroy, Record and Rejoice. He has to kill something in the shooting phase, ideally a vehicle and another unit. He's getting Supremacy, so he has to control at least twice as many objective markers as me. And he's drew Secure Objective 5, which is on my side of the table. Right, so the Paladin looks to be taking aim across the battlefield, whilst the Full Guides are moving forward. The Destroyer, of course, is taking aim at Binky. If he's shooting at Binky, at least he's not shooting at something else. The Onagers as well, looking across potentially the Vipers, the Rangers, the Dark Reapers, who knows. Meanwhile, the Crusader is leveling his battle cannon and his thermal cannon. He's got Wraith Guard, he's got a Wave Serpent, and he's got Fire Dragons. Lots of juicy targets, but the Vanguard are here as well, and we've got the Ballistari as well to potentially take out the Fire Dragons and the exposed rear armour of the Wave Serpent. Right, so for Canticles and Doctrines, Harry has used +1 ballistic skill for the Skitarii, Benediction of the Omniscient to reroll all hits. What a turn of retaliation from the Mechanic, and we've lost 2 of the Bikers here. Harry actually getting 12 wounds with the battle cannon from the Knight over there. Luckily we passed a lot of them for cover saves. As you can see here, the Wave Serpent is gone, and that is thanks to the breaches as well as the thermal cannon. The Wraith Guard here unfortunately went down to the thermal cannon, And the last hull point on the Wave Serpent was done by the Storm Spear rocket pod there. The torsion cannon and the grav each doing a single hull point to the Wave Serpent. In the centre here, Binky took fire from the plasma in the Ranger squad as well as from the grav. Luckily, Fortune saving a couple of wounds, but unfortunately one wound did go through. The battle cannon from the knight at this side managed to get 3 pens on the Vipers. We elected not to jink, relying on those hollow fields, and the lead one is immobilised. This one is wrecked. The heavy stubbers firing in, and the Rangers taking cover behind that barricade. However, the Dark Reapers and Morgan Ra have been slaughtered almost. They took fire from the heavy stubbers and the neutron lasers hurtling across the battlefield from the onagers. Morgan Ra actually tanking quite a few wounds for the Dark Reapers themselves, but unfortunately not enough. So with that, the Eldar advance has been shaken, and the AdMech are ready to retaliate in the assault phase. Right, so in combat, Harry decided to charge in the priests at Binky, the Wraith Knight. Managed to get 2 wounds through, one of them being an instant death wound, but Binky passing that save. So, as a result of that, so Harry does score, destroy, record, rejoice for destroying the Fire Dragons and the Wave Serpent for D3 points, and he also secures 1, 2, and 3 objectives, whereas I only actually control 1. So he scores 2 D3 victory points. Alright, to Eldar turn 2, we drew no prisoners, domination and Skyborne assault, and I've got a plan. Both the Hawks and the Crimson Hunter are on. Right, so moving phase, we try to move the Farseer a little bit further forward. I need a 3-inch move through cover to be able to get within Fortune range for the Wraith Knight, and unfortunately I only rolled a 2. Not good at all. The Crimson Hunter came hurtling on and was looking at the side armour of the Imperial Knight over there. However, that intercepted and unfortunately has stunned him, which means Harry's going to have to move the Knight or I'm going to lose the flyer straight away. The bikers at this side are going to turbo boost forward to snag this objective, and hopefully the 2 remaining Vipers will take out that destroyer for Skyborne assault and hopefully get me 1 unit towards no prisoners. Meanwhile, in the centre, the Wraith Lord and the Avatar are going to hopefully charge in and hopefully take out the priests. We'll have to see if we are lucky enough to be able to do that. The Guardians are pushed sideways to snag this objective for me, and the Spiders walking to steal this one. These bikers have leapt into action because there's an objective in there, which I will obsec over Harry in there if I can get the bikes in. However, I'm going to send the 3 in there due to the dangerous terrain. The other one is going to hurtle himself all the way across the battlefield to get within 3 inches of this one to score me domination. The Wave Serpent, meanwhile, is pulled sideways slightly to give that charge lane to the Avatar and hopefully get a hull point or 2 on this Knight. The Hawks are going to lend a hand in trying to thin these guys out so that maybe the bikers might survive, but with Dominus, the Ballistari and the Castellans there, I doubt it, but they're going to sacrifice themselves to hopefully get domination. Right, so the plan had to change because I remembered that the Windrider host doesn't have objectives secured, unfortunately. So we unloaded into the breaches doing 1 wound, and the Hawks managed to kill 2 of the Vanguard there and blind them. The Wave Serpent here in the centre, unfortunately doing no damage to the Knight on this side, and despite getting guide off on the flyer, we unfortunately didn't do any damage to the Knight at this side either. We did, however, kill the destroyer that was in the centre thanks to the Vipers, and the bikers took a couple of shots over at the onager but failed to do anything. Meanwhile, the guided Meanwhile, the guided Dark Reapers managed to do a single hull point of damage to this. Right, so combat, the tag team of the Wraith Lord and the Avatar and the Wraith Knight managed to obliterate the priests that were in the middle. The Wraith Knight killing 3 of them, the Wraith Lord killing 3, the Avatar killing about 4, and then Binky stomping on the remaining 2. So they've each consolidated 3 inches, and it wasn't too bad a round of combat. The bikers have all just spread out a little bit as well, moving to reconsolidate. Obviously me forgetting that they don't have objectives secured. Big game changer there indeed. So I do score Skyborne Assault for killing 1 unit there, and I score no prisoners for killing 2 units. Right, so Harry has drew Hold the Line, which isn't going to be a problem for him at all. He's drew Secure Objective 3, which he's already on with the breaches, and he's drew Secure Objective 6, which is on my side of the table. So for movement, the Imperial Knight has moved forward. I'm guessing he's going to make short work of the Bikers and the Vipers at this side. Meanwhile, the Onagers have pulled back to stop the Crimson Hunter from staying around. Next turn, the Lock Velocity, of course, going to destroy that. This Imperial Knight's pushed forward, probably looking to eat a couple of those Bikers and then potentially take out either the Avatar or the Wave Serpent. And the Ballistari, the Castellans and the Vanguard are all staring at the Hawks. So for Canticles and Doctrines, Harry has used +3 ballistic skill, -2 weapon skill, and he's reused Benediction of the Omniscience to reroll failed shooting attacks. Right, so shooting phase being absolutely devastating. Over here, the breaches combined with the melter gun from the Knight managed to bring this Wave Serpent thudding to the ground. The Hawks took fire from the Castellans and the Vanguard here, and unfortunately there's only the Exarch on a single wound and 1 Hawk left with him. They passed the morale though, so they're not running. Ballistari shot the las cannon in here as well. The Avenger Gatling cannon from the front of the Knight managed to make mincemeat of the Avatar almost, and he's on 3 wounds. In the centre here, the Onagers targeted Binky but just clipped the Wraith Lord, and unfortunately the Wraith Lord was cut down, not passing any of his cover saves at all. The Plasmas, meanwhile, doing damage to Binky. Binky is on a single wound. That Destruct Renew proving vital that I go off last psychic phase, because that is his wound that he has left. The only other thing to be done was the Battle Cannon took out the Dark Reapers. The Farseer is still hiding. We went to ground to try and keep the Farseer alive for that psychic, and unfortunately the Reapers were cut down. Meanwhile here, the Viper took a wound, a hull point rather, to the Heavy Stubbers as well. So not a bad round of shooting for Harry at all. It's proven very, very brutal indeed. Let's see what he does in the assault phase though, because I think we're going to get a couple of charges in. Right, so Harry was feeling brave and wanted to take on the Avatar. He charged the Crusader in. Hammer of Wrath hopeful to do wounds, unfortunately didn't. The Avatar swinging at strength 8 with Armor Bane, got 2 hull points through on the Knight. The Knight managed to actually hit the Avatar once, wound him once, and failed his in-run. Harry also got 3 stomps, but only rolled the strength 6 1, 2 wounds, and the Avatar passed both of his saves. So he's holding him up in combat. I think Binky needs to make a charge in as well to get the Avatar out. Meanwhile, the Hawks that didn't run are going to stop Harry from getting Hold the Line. He does, however, score Objective 3 in the back corner. Meanwhile, he is going to discard Objective 6. So let's move on to Eldar, turn 3. Right, so Eldar turn 3, I've drew Secure Objective 2, Blood and Guts, which hopefully the Avatar will get, and Guardians of the Hidden Path. I've rolled Objective 4, and this is Objective 4 with an Imperial Knight on it. Not a great idea, however, I've got a plan. I've got the Bright Lance and the Singing Spears from the Farseer and the Warlock at this side on the front. The Spiders, the Bikers have leapt into action to get the side armour, and those Bikers have jumped behind to get the rear armour and Objective 2. Meanwhile, I debated, do I move Binky across this way and charge him, or do I guarantee that I try and kill something over here? So I've put Binky to try and rescue the Avatar here. Hopefully we can bring that one down, and our shooting can bring this one down as well. Over here, I thought about charging the Hawks in at the Knight due to the haywire grenades, but I'd rather try and get rid of the Ballistari. Yes, he is going to be hitting me on 5s though, but hopefully we'll make it in. Right, so in the Psychic phase, this Farseer managed to guide the bikers at the back. The other biker Farseer managed to guide these guys between the 2 biker units, the Spiders, the Singing Spear on the Warlock and the Farseer, and the Bright Lance, and even trying to get some Rends with the Rangers there. We only did 4 hull points to the Knight. Harry actually saving 3 hull points on the front shield, but the rest of it going through. We needed 1 more to score that point. Hopefully we can bring him down next turn though. Meanwhile, over on this flank, this guy managed to kill the breacher that was left, and the Hawk has managed to blind that Ballistari for the charge, so hopefully we can take him out with the haywire grenades. It looks as though the Eldar are striking back hard indeed. We've managed to scatter ourselves around with the assault jumps, hopefully minimise the targets for this Knight. But in combat, Binky came hurtling in, did a wound with Hammer of Wrath, and then the Avatar slew the Knight and scattered backwards and managed to kill 3 of the Rangers on this flank. So with that, I do score secure objective 2, and I score Blood and Guts, but not Guardians in the Hidden Path. Right, so Harry's still got Hold the Line, and he's got secure objective 2 and Blood and Guts. So I'm guessing he's going to go for me Warlord with Blood and Guts. It's worth noting in the Eldar assault phase, I charged the Hawks at Ballistari, and Harry actually killed one to Overwatch despite being blind, and then unfortunately the Exarch did nothing and he stamped on him. So going into Mechanic in turn 3, Harry is elected to use Shroud Sam. He's still got 8 units, so everything is going to have Stealth and Shrouded, and he's elected to use +2 ballistic skill on the Skitarii. So the Ballistari is moving forward, looking to probably take out Binky on that last wound that he is on. The Onagers, meanwhile, probably looking to take out the Avatar. There's going to be a lot of firepower coming in. I need one of these 2 guys to survive. They're my heavy hitters against that Imperial Knight. We need him to stay strong. So, other than that Knight moving forward, and the Ballistari, Harry hasn't moved anything else, and I'm expecting another devastating round of shooting. Let's see what he does. This Ballistari needs a promotion, because despite being blinded, he cut down one of the Hawks, and he even cut down Fortuned Binky. Didn't pass any of my 3 saves, unfortunately, so Binky has gone to a Snapfire in last cannon. The Avatar took fire from the Onagers, and one of the neutron lasers managed to get a wound in. None of the stubbers doing any damage. The Avatar even saving wounds from the plasma over here as well. The only other shots that came in was the battle cannon. Took out one of the Guardians and the Warlock Conclave. The heavy stubbers from the battle cannon and the Knight doing no damage to the Farseer either. So that was it. Harry's shooting phase very quick now. There's not many models left, and it's been absolutely brutal. But where is this Knight charging? Right, so in the assault phase, the Knight attempted a charge, but unfortunately Harry rolled a 3, which means he doesn't make it, unfortunately. So he does score Hold the Line, but unfortunately he doesn't score objective 2 or Blood and Guts. So that is it for Mechanic in turn 3. Let's move on to Eldar turn 4. Right, so Eldar turn 4, we drew behind enemy lines. Guardians of the Hidden Path for objective 4 still, and we drew secure objective 6. In the moving phase, these bikers have pulled back to score behind enemy lines for us. They've been guided in the Psychic phase to hopefully take out the rear armour of this Knight. The Farseer jumped sideways as well to get the Singing Spear on the side armour, as well as hopefully the Rends from these snipers. The Bright Lance is going to be targeting the front armour. We managed to get guide off on the Warp Spiders as well. They're going to be shooting the side armour as well as the Avatar. Depending on how the rest of the shooting goes, the Spiders might jump this way and hopefully take out those Rangers. The bikes that were in the centre though, they've jumped back 12 inches. They're just within 3 of that objective 6, and hopefully take out the Ballistari down at this side as well. Right, so shooting phase incredibly quick down here. The Farseer was the first thing to shoot at the side armour. Harry elected to put the shield up, and we managed to get a glance. Unfortunately, Harry failed his save, and the knight exploded on the spot, which meant that the Bright Lance and the bikers at this side were able to do a single glance to the onagers. The warp spiders managed to take out the 2 remaining rangers, and then Assault jumped right in the face of the onagers, hopefully prevent Harry from targeting them. Over this side, the bikers managed to get 2 glances on the Ballistari, but Harry managed to pass one of those stealth and shrouded saves. So we do score secure objective 6, we do score Guardians of the Hidden Path, and we do score behind enemy lines for a further 3 points. Right, so AdMech turn 4. Harry has drew the Will of the Omnissiah. He has drew secure objective 2 and Blood and Guts. Right, so for Canticles and Doctrines, Harry has used Chant of the Remorseless Fist to get that victory point, and he has used +2 ballistic skill. Right, so shooting phase, the Ballistari shot across at the Avatar, but did no damage to him. It was in fact a heavy phosphor blaster getting 1 hit and 1 wound on the Avatar that finally cut him down. The torsion cannon from the breacher here managed to bring down a single biker in the background. We elected not to jink as we want them a couple of shots at full ballistic skill. Meanwhile, in the centre, the heavy stubbers managed to kill 2 of the warp spiders, and we flicker jumped straight forward to try and avoid the neutron lasers. Harry did scatter back onto himself, but unfortunately didn't do any damage and killed 1 of the spiders. Just the Exarch remains here. Phase, the warp spider Exarch let out a scream as the onagers came hurtling in, crushing them under their feet. So Harry does score Blood and Guts for killing something in the assault phase, but not objective marker 2. Right, so Eldar turn 5, we drew Big Game Hunter, Hungry for Glory issue a challenge, and Legacy of Sorrow kill a character. Those 2 are going to be very difficult indeed. Right, so we've done the entire game turn. These guys were guided by the Farseer and managed to wreck that onager, getting 3 glances, and Harry unfortunately not passing a single 5-up invuln. In the centre, across here, the guided Bright Lance targeted the Dominus all the way across here, and despite wounding, Harry did manage to pass his invuln. And the bikers here even managed to get a wound through that 2-up armour and feel no pain. The Bright Lance wouldn't have insta-killed him, as Harry's warlord trait was Eternal Warrior. So I do score Big Game Hunter, and I'm going to discard Hungry for Glory. Right, so turn 5 for Harry, has to take back an objective. Objective marker 2, which is over here, and he has to cause me to fail a morale, fear or pinning check. So the only fire that was taken was the Farseer here took fire from the onager, but we managed to pass our invuln and all of our saves from the heavy stubbers. Ballistari even had a crack at him, but managed to pass his invuln. And over here was the torsion cannon and plasmas that did the damage to the lone Wind Riders that were left. Harry only killed 1, forcing a morale check, but unfortunately passing. So we have finished the game at this point. It has been absolutely murderous. There is almost nothing left on either side at all. We don't know what the score is. We're going to add it up now. So it seems the Farseer's assault on the Mechanicum stronghold has been successful. The Eldar with Linebreaker and First Blood, neither side getting Slay the Warlord. The Eldar come out victorious at 14 points to 7. But what a brutal matchup indeed. There's almost nothing left. I think if the game had continued, there's very good potential that Harry could have done quite a bit more damage to the remaining Eldar units. There is not a lot left at all. A single biker, some Guardians and some Rangers. I hope you enjoyed today's game. It's been filmed at Durham Raiders. Please check them out on Facebook if you live in the area, and come and pop down for multiple games on the go all the time. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.